Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my personal skincare routine and giving you some information on how to get started on a basic skincare routine if you do not already have one. This would also be a nice beneficial video for if maybe you have questions of what would be good for your skin type, or if you want to add a couple extra steps into your skincare routine that you may already have. Now, if you have any questions, just let me know. I know skincare can be very confusing. I feel like it's very science-like with all of the ingredients, and science was not my best subject in school, so I totally get it. But once you get the hang of being able to get down a basic skincare routine and getting to know some basic ingredients that are going to be good for your skin, I feel like then it's pretty easy. So I won't dive too deep into ingredients and specific ingredients that are good for certain stuff, just because one, I don't want it to be overwhelming, and two, I don't necessarily find it necessary for you to be super knowledgeable and in-depth on skincare ingredients if you're just getting started into a routine and just want something basic. But of course, I will list suggestions down below on what I think would be good for each skin type, either products that I know are good or products that I have used on other people before or on myself. So of course, I'll also list stuff down below that I use on my skin as well. So then if you have my skin type and you want to learn more about those products and maybe check those out for yourself, then you'll have the links to do so. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I have my notepad ready with all of my skincare notes on it. So I have a guideline to follow by. I have my water ready because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking in this video. So I'll probably need to stop and take a couple drinks in between because my throat's gonna get dry. But when starting out with a skincare routine, it's very important to be able to identify what your skin type is. Now for me, I'm more combination skin. And if you're not sure what you are, just take a look in the mirror and look at how your skin looks, or just observe at how it feels throughout the day. So if your skin, for instance, feels very tight, or it feels uncomfortable, or you notice any dry patches, then you're more than likely going to be dry skin type. If you have more, not necessarily too oily or too dry, and you're that nice in between, then you're more than likely going to be normal. If you have more of a combination of, oilier and drier, or oilier and normal, then, like the name says, you're going to be combination. So like I said, that's what I am. So for me, I get more oily in my T-zone area, and then on the outer perimeters of my face, I'm more normal. Now, some people, they may be more oily in their T-zone and then dry on their cheeks, or they may have dry patches. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be oily in your T-zone. Just basically, if you are a combination of oily and normal, or oily and dry, then you're going to be more combination skin. And then if you have oil everywhere, you find that you get shiny very easily, maybe you have larger pores, then you're more than likely going to be more of an oilier skin type. So the reason why it's important on being able to identify your skin is because that'll be based on the products that you use and the different textures and everything like that. So very, very important. So once you are able to identify what your skin type is, then you'll want to start narrowing down on what products that you want to use and the different textures that are best for your skin. So the very first thing that I do in my routine is I cleanse my skin. So you're going to want to find a nice basic cleanser for your skin. And it's very, very important to make sure that you are cleansing daily and nightly. And the reason is because cleansing your skin is going to remove any dirt, oil, and makeup that you have sitting on your skin. It's going to get any impurities off of your skin, like pollution. It's going to help improve the appearance of pores if you have larger pores, because if you don't cleanse and you have all of that makeup and all of that gunk and oil getting into your pores, and your pores are going to look more enlarged. So being able to clean all of that out is really going to help with the size of your pores as well. Cleansing in the morning time also sets the stage for proper absorption of your skincare, because when you cleanse and you clear out your pores, that's going to help your skincare go in deeper into the skin. And it's also going to help prep for your makeup as well, and just make sure that you have nice clean skin for your makeup. Now when it comes to cleansers, there are different textures in cleansers. So there are gel cleansers, which that's going to be more ideal for oily and combination skin types. There are cream cleansers, so that's going to be more ideal for dry skin. Foam cleansers are going to be good for more oily and combination. You have oil cleansers, which are going to be pretty ideal for most of all skin types. And then there's micellar cleansers, which are going to be good for dry skin, just because they're going to be a little bit more moisturizing. So the cleanser that I personally like to go in with in the morning is this one from Tatcha, and it's the Tatcha The Deep Exfoliating Cleanser. And now this one is going to be good for normal to oily skin, and also it's good for sensitive skin as well. Now this one is going to be a daily gel cleanser with natural fruit exfoliant that thoroughly but gently lifts impurities and unclogs pores while leaving skin soft and hydrated. Now I am getting all this information from Sephora's website directly, so this is like what Tatcha's claims are going to be. And what I like about this one is that it does have little exfoliant beads in them, and they aren't too abrasive, so that's why it's also going to be good for sensitive skin and the most delicate skin, because the little exfoliants aren't going to be too harsh on the skin. It makes my skin feel soft. I don't feel like dry when I get out of the shower or after washing my face. Like some cleansers feel like they just strip the natural oils from your skin. I don't feel like this does that. I feel like my skin looks more radiant. This is also going to help minimize excess oil, which is why it is good for more normal to oily skin types. If you are drier, I wouldn't use this just because it would probably dry your skin out a little bit, just because it does help minimize excess oil. And if you've never like heard of Tatcha before, or if you've never used any of their products, they are more botanical ingredient based, so therefore they have like more like plant based botanical ingredients. So they have really nice ingredients for the skin. And what's really cool about Tatcha is that each purchase that you make from Tatcha, your money is going to a good cause, because they are a proud partner of Room to Read, which is a leading nonprofit organization that is focused on girls' education and children's literacy in Asia and Africa. So your money is going to a good cause when purchasing Tatcha products. Now they are a little bit more on the pricier side, but their ingredients are really nice, and they have really nice products as well. So I really recommend them. They also have stuff for dry skin as well, which I can list some more of their stuff in like the description bar down below if you want to check them out. So then after I cleanse my skin in the morning, the next product that I go in with is just going to be my acne cream from the dermatologist. Now I'm just throwing that in there just because I'm giving you the exact rundown of what I do for my routine. If you remember from my foundation routine video, I did mention that I do get hormonal based acne, so I have to use a cream both night and day. So that's just the product that I go in with next. So just disregard it if you don't have any problems with acne and need to use a cream or anything. So the next step in my morning skincare routine is going in with an eye cream. Now I recommend that everybody start using an eye cream, because underneath of your eyes are going to be one of the areas that show age first, because it's very delicate and it is one of the most expressive areas on the face. You do a lot of like squinting and different like facial expressions. So that area you'll be able to notice aging first. So it's very good to go in with an eye cream and take care of that really delicate area. Now, when you're using an eye cream, just be gentle with that area underneath, because it is so gentle. Now, if you don't know this tip already, when you're using an eye cream, you want to use your ring fingers and tap, like gently tap the eye cream underneath of the eye. You're not going to want to rub, because if you think about like the skin underneath of your eyes, think of a construction paper versus tissue paper. So you know how thick construction paper is, that's going to be more like the skin on your face and other parts of the body. So it can handle a little bit more. I mean, of course you still want to be gentle with it, but it can handle a little bit more than versus tissue paper. Tissue paper is very fine and very thin. It can crinkle very easily. So that's going to be like the skin underneath of your eye. It's very, very delicate. And the reason why you want to go in with your ring fingers to blend out your eye cream is because your ring fingers are going to be the most gentle fingers on the hand to be able to pat that into the skin. So the different common eye concerns that a lot of women have, or even men as well, are fine lines and wrinkles, loss of firmness and elasticity, bags and puffiness, dark circles. So you just want to make sure that you're finding an eye cream that's going to suit your under eye best on the problems that you're trying to target. And if I know some people may be thinking, if I'm using a moisturizer, can't I just use a moisturizer underneath of my eye? And no, you cannot, or you should not do that, just because the eye creams are made specifically for underneath of the eye, and they're meant to be gentle under the eye. So anything that is not specifically made for the eyes, like moisturizers and other skincare products, I would not recommend using those underneath of this eye area, because they're probably going to be a little too heavy and a little bit too strong for underneath of the delicate eye area. Or if you hear a lawnmower outside in the background, because somebody across the street just decided to start mowing their lawn in the middle of me filming. So Yay. But the eye cream that I like to use on myself in my morning routine is this one right here. And this one is the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. And what I like about this one is that it is good for all skin types, including sensitive, and it wears really nice under concealer. So their claims on Sephora's website is that it is a brightening, vitamin C rich eye cream that targets signs of aging, reducing the look of dark circles while improving concealer application, which I feel like is true. It doesn't get creasy underneath of concealer, and it just wears very nice and very smooth. Now with this one, it's going to be good for brightening because it does have that vitamin C in it. So anything with vitamin C is going to be nice and brightening underneath of the eye. This one also has collagen, so it's going to help improve skin's youthful elasticity. Collagen also helps like plump and smooth as well, and it also gives you a little bit of hydration. What I also like about this eye cream is that it feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy underneath of the eye. And also keep in mind that skincare is going to work over time. So if you're using a product for like say like a week and you're like, man, this sucks, this doesn't do anything, give it more of like a month or two, especially if you have more aging skin, because then it's going to take a little bit longer, but I'll get into more of that in my next skincare video that I do. But it does take time for skincare to work, so don't get frustrated with it if you're not seeing results instantly, because skincare is not like makeup. You're not going to see instant results. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to actually work. So keep that in mind as well when you're experimenting with different skincare products. So my next step in my skincare routine is to moisturize the skin. Now it is very, very important to moisturize your skin both day and night. Not moisturizing is going to just make you dry. It's just not going to give your skin the hydration that it needs. And also keep in mind, if you are oily, you still want to moisturize your skin. I have had people tell me, I do not use a moisturizer. I have oily skin. I do not feel like I need one. I'm oily enough. I don't need one. Yes, you do need one. You need to moisturize day and night, even when you are oily, especially when you're oily. And this is like for any skin type, really. You just won't get the hydration. But with being oily, if you do not hydrate your skin with a moisturizer, your skin is going to overcompensate for the lack of hydration that it's getting. So therefore, it's going to produce more oils because of that overcompensation. So with not moisturizing, you're actually making your skin oilier than what you would be if you were to moisturize it. Now, that's not to say that your oils are going to go away and you're just going to have, normal skin, because it doesn't work that way. That's just how your skin type is. It's just oilier. But you're going to be less oily from moisturizing than you would be without moisturizing. So if you're oily and not using a moisturizer, or you're not using a moisturizer at all, no matter your skin type, go and get one. It is so, so important. So the benefits of moisturizing your skin is that it is going to boost up your hydration levels. It's going to give you a nice canvas for makeup application. And then it is also going to help prevent against fine lines and wrinkles, because you're giving your face that hydration that it needs. And the drier your skin is, the more pronounced fine lines and wrinkles are going to be. So make sure that you're incorporating a moisturizer into your routine. I cannot say this enough. It is so important. So as for moisturizers, there are different textures. So that's why it's important to be able to identify your personal skin type so that you're making sure that you're using the correct texture of moisturizer for your skin. Because if you're oilier, you're going to want to use something that's more lightweight and not something that's more rich and creamy, because then you'll feel like it's too heavy on the skin and it'll probably make you a little bit more oilier throughout the day. Same thing with dry skin. You're not going to want to use something that's too lightweight or oil-free, because you're just not going to get the amount of moisture that your skin needs. So it's just going to stay dry. So for dry skin, you'll prefer more of like richer textures, so more of like creams and more of oils. Oily skin are going to prefer something more thin, more lightweight, so something like a gel or oil-free. Combination skin is going to prefer more lotion, so not anything too heavy or too thin, but you're still getting that hydration that you need. And then as far as normal skin, you can fall in between the texture of maybe like a lotion or a cream. Also, just keep in mind the season, and that can really go for any skin type, because as the seasons change, your skin also changes. Especially if you live in a colder climate, there's going to be less moisture in the air, meaning that it's going to be drier, and then your skin's going to feel drier. So if you're more normal and it's winter time, just pay attention to see if maybe your skin goes from more normal to normal dry. Then you may want to go with something a little bit more creamier. And then during the summertime, when there's more moisture in the air, just pay attention to see maybe if your skin changes from more like normal to not necessarily oily, but you get like a little bit more dewiness under your skin. Then you can maybe stick with a lotion or go with something a little bit more lightweight. So the moisturizer that I personally like to use during the daytime is this one right here from Dior. And this one is the Dior Hydra Life Fresh Hydration Sorbet Cream. And this is going to be good for normal to oily skin types. Now, it doesn't necessarily say that it's good for sensitive skin. And I feel like the reason being is because it does have like a pretty fragrant scent to it. And I feel like a lot of more like luxe higher end skincare brands like Dior or Lancome or maybe even Estee Lauder is going to have more fragrance in their skincare products, which isn't necessarily good, I guess you can say, for any skin type. But depending on how sensitive you are, you may not be able to use it. Same thing with more of like the makeup side of things, more like luxe brands like Dior and YSL, etc. They're going to have, I feel like, more fragrance in their foundations. So just be aware of that as well. But what this moisturizer is that it's an ultra fresh gel cream that nurtures and invigorates the skin, leaving it looking moisturized, radiant, and plumped. So I personally like this one. I'm almost out of mine, as you can see. It doesn't make my skin feel too heavy or too greasy throughout the day. I feel like it wears really nice underneath of my makeup. So I really like this one. Now, Dior is going to be a very pricey skincare line. To be honest, I'm just using this because, from working at Sephora, I got it from being there. So, after I run out of this, I'm not going to purchase it or anything like that because I don't feel like paying for a Dior price for skincare. So, I do recommend it. I like it. I think it's nice for more normal to oily skin types. It doesn't feel like too heavy, like I said. They do have one for drier skin as well, but I feel like there's other things out there that are cheaper than Dior that do just as good of a job, if not better. So, like I said, it's nice, but I'm not going to repurchase it or anything like that. All right, so then for me personally, in my next skincare routine, this is going to be more optional. You don't have to do it, but I always recommend it, is that I go in with a lip scrub. And the reason I do this is because, especially during the winter time, your lips can become dry and chapped, and then just going in with like a sugar lip scrub is going to help with exfoliating your lips, getting all of that dead skin off, create smoother, more hydrated lips. And also, if you like to wear liquid lipsticks, since it dries down so matte, it's going to really emphasize like the dry texture on your lips. So using a lip scrub is going to help with your liquid lips going on smoother. Now for me, I have purchased lip scrubs in the past, but lately I've been making them on my own at home. It's super easy. You don't really have to spend any money unless you just buy the ingredients for it. It only takes a few ingredients. I use just turbinado sugar because it's going to be, the sugar crystals are going to be a little bit bigger, which I like. I use coconut oil and then an extract, typically either like vanilla or in this one I used peppermint. You can use essential oils, so I just look up recipes online and just make it that way, so you can totally do that. But I use a lip scrub every single day, even during the summertime. I just really like how it makes my lips feel. It makes them feel soft and smooth, and it just really preps for my lips throughout the day. So like I said, it is optional, but I always recommend it, especially during the winter, and especially if you like to wear liquid lipstick. This is really going to help save your lips. And also, now that I thought about it, when I mentioned coconut oil and how I use this in here, I'm going to go back to my moisturizing step, because if you are currently using coconut oil on your face, or you read that you can use coconut oil on your face, do not do it. Just don't use coconut oil on your face as a moisturizer. The reason being is because it is a comedogenic, meaning that it will clog your pores over time. Now you may have read, on like a mom blog or on like a natural blog saying that coconut oil will change your life. It'll change the way your skin is. It'll hydrate you, blah, 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 blah. Just don't do it, please. It'll clog your pores over time. You'll thank me later, which then, you don't want to break out, because those clogged pores will turn on a breakout. So just don't do it. I have personally used it on other parts of my body. Like if I've ran out of shaving cream, I have used it for shaving cream, which I have no issues with that. I feel like that's fine. You can use it in your hair, whatever. Just do not use it on your face. Just listen to me. Don't do it. So then after I use my lip scrub, then I just like to go in and I like to hydrate my lips. And the one I have been obsessed with is this one here from Burt's Bees. So there we go. So my mom actually stuck this in my stocking for Christmas, and I love lip balms. I love lip masks. I love like just chapsticks. So I have been obsessed with this one because it is almost in like an oilier texture. When you put it on, it just gets so oily and hydrating, and I just really love it. I've been obsessed with it. I wear it so many times throughout the day. So if you're looking for a good like lip balm or chapstick that is moisturizing and very conditioning. I would check out the Burt's Bees ones because their ingredients are good, and it's bomb. Just be honest, it's bomb. Okay, so then recapping on the steps of a like nice basic skincare routine are you're going to wash your face, very important. You're going to go in with an eye cream, which is very important. And then you're definitely going to go in with a moisturizer. So that is also very important. Optional steps are going to be using like a lip scrub, and then of course conditioning your lips with like a lip balm or something. Those are just extra steps that I like to throw in. But definitely wash the face, eye cream, and a moisturizer. Super simple. I keep my skin routine super simple. I'll also show you my nighttime one. I do add a couple extra steps in, and a couple of the products that I use are going to be different from my daytime routine. So I'll talk about a little bit more of ingredients in the nighttime routine part, just because a couple of the products that I use are going to be very important as far as like the ingredients that they contain. So it won't be anything super complicated. It's pretty easy, I feel like, once you get the hang of it. So let's go ahead and get started on my nighttime routine. So as far as a nighttime routine goes, I recommend that everybody has a nighttime routine, just because you're going to want to wash away and get rid of all of the makeup and the gunk and the bacteria and the pollution and like the sebum sitting on your skin throughout the day. You're going to want to rinse all of that away, because then your skincare that you use at nighttime is going to be more effective and beneficial to your skin overnight. So when you sleep at night, your skin is going to be in the repair mode. So your skin is going to be working differently and absorbing your skincare differently than it is during the daytime. So get a nighttime routine. Don't sleep in your makeup. I don't care how tired you are. Take that off. Do your skincare routine. You'll thank me later. But the first step that I go in with is obviously removing my makeup. And I don't know if you can read this or not on camera, or if it's even focused. Well, whatever, it's focused. But this is going to be the Lancome Honey Cleanser. And what this is, it's a 2-in-1 foaming face cleanser and makeup remover with honey. And this is going to be good for all skin types and sensitive skin. Now, what I like about this is that it really takes the makeup off really well, and I feel like it makes my face feel clean afterwards. So, and how I use this is going in with clean hands, and I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video, but same concept that I mentioned in my foundation routine. So before you touch your face, you want to make sure your hands are clean with soap and water. Same concept with going in with your skincare. Make sure your hands are clean with soap and water, because if not, and you've been touching stuff all day, eating, touching your phone, whatever, then you're just going to spread bacteria on the skin, which can lead to clogged pores and breakouts. So make sure you have clean hands. So with clean hands, I take this, I pump some on my hands, I rub it in, I rub it into my makeup, like while my makeup is still sitting on my skin. I rub it in, it kind of gets a little bit foamy, then I get my hands wet underneath the sink, I add water and rub it in, and it starts to melt my makeup off. Now, I also really like this because I used to use the Neutrogena makeup wipes, which I'm sure a lot of people use, and those are like really nice wipes, I feel like, for taking off makeup. But I like this because this is gentler on the eye area. When I used a makeup wipe, I felt like I was always tugging and pulling to get my mascara off, which is bad. You don't want to tug and pull at your eye area, because that's just going to cause premature wrinkles and premature lines in the gentle eye area. And with this, it just really melts off the mascara really well. You can just go in there with some water and just do a little gentle like circular rub, and it helps really melt it off. So I really like this. So then my next step that I go in with is using my cleanser. So this is the one that I use in the morning. So it's the Tatcha Deep Cleanse. Now, I know I said that this Lancome one is a 2-in-1 makeup remover and cleanser, but I also go in with this cleanser as well after I use this, and that is considered a double cleanse. Now, what a double cleanse is going to be is that you're using either an oil, balm, or micellar water to break down your makeup, SPF, and sebum on the surface of your skin, then following it with a deeper water-based cleanse. Now this right here isn't necessarily an oil, balm, or micellar water. I have used a balm and an oil before to break down my makeup, and those are really nice as well. This is just like a plain cleanser makeup remover in one, but going in with a second cleanser is what's going to really ensure that your face is clean. Now, this is an optional step. You don't have to go in with a double cleanse. I just started doing it within the past couple months, and I personally really like it. I feel like my skin just feels very clean. And the benefits of going in with a double cleanse is that double cleansing removes sweat, bacteria, and old skin cells. If you wear a full face of makeup throughout the day, you're really ensuring that you're getting every single inch of makeup off of your skin. Also, going in with a double cleanse at nighttime is going to ensure that your other skincare products like your moisturizers, your serums, etc. are going to sink in deeper into the skin. Double cleansing is also very important if you live in a city environment, and the reason being is because when you live in a city, you are exposed to high levels of pollution daily, and pollution has been proven that it does cause signs of aging and premature aging. So going in with a double cleanse is really ensuring that you're getting all of that off of your skin, which is also important to me because I do live in a city environment. So that's another benefit to double cleansing. Also, it's beneficial for those who have acne prone skin as well. Double cleansing ensures that both the first layer of sebum, makeup, sunscreen, and deep layers of pore bacteria, which can all aggravate acne, are removed from the surface of your skin and from down in your pores. So also with double cleansing, you don't have to do it in the morning. It's just necessary at nighttime just to get everything off, because if you go in with too much cleansing, then that's just going to be considered over cleansing, which will more than likely irritate your skin and dry out your skin. So this is just a step that I like to go in with. You don't have to if you don't want, but I recommend it just to really ensure you're getting everything off. Also, another tip about cleansing, whether it's morning or night, is do not use a bar of soap for your cleanser. I have had people tell me before they just use like Dove body soap or just, any bar of like soap that they have. Don't use that, because that is not made for the face. That's just going to irritate the skin and just dry out the skin. It's going to strip the natural oils off of your skin as well. So your skin's going to feel tight and just irritated. That is what cleansers are specifically made for, is to specifically cleanse the skin. So get a good cleanser. Do not use bar soap on your face. So the next step that I go in with, and that I recommend that anybody goes in with, is going in with a treatment. So your treatments are going to be your serums, your masks, exfoliators. Now what a treatment is going to do is that is going to give you the results that you're looking for quicker, because it has active ingredients in it. Now, if you don't go in with a treatment, then your skin isn't going to, change as quickly as it would versus using a treatment. Of course, it's still going to take time, so don't expect instant results, but it'll happen quicker over time versus not using it. So now, just talking about the different, the difference between each treatment, is that for exfoliators, you're going to want to choose one that's best for you. Now, what I mean by that is that there are a couple different types of exfoliators. You have your physical exfoliators and your chemical exfoliators. Now, the difference between the two are that physical exfoliators, so you're gonna actually be, physical, little beads, or I'm sure you've used a face exfoliator before, that you just rub on your skin, and it's going to help take the top layer of skin off. Like if you have like any dry, patchy skin, it's just going to help like smooth. So with that, you're going to get instant gratification. There's not going to be anything that you're going to have to necessarily wait for it to work. You'll just get instant, results with that. Now, the pros and cons to a physical exfoliation is that it is going to provide relatively an effective way to get rid of dead skin cells and impurities and temporarily minimize pores. And then it's especially effective for getting rid of blackheads. Now, the cons for a physical exfoliator is that it's not always going to be the most gentle form of exfoliating, just because it has those beads in it, so it's going to be a little bit more abrasive on the skin. Excessive abrasion can result in irritated skin. Just a couple of tips with physical exfoliators, if that's what you choose to go with, is that if you have more sensitive skin, you should go with a more finely grained exfoliator, because anything that's going to be, too abrasive, I guess you could say, that's just going to be too much for sensitive skin, and it's just going to irritate. Also, try to avoid products with nutshells or fruit pits, because that can irritate the skin, or it can cause like little tiny microscopic tears in the skin, which you do not want. Oily skin types benefit the most from these type of exfoliators, as they can withstand more abrasion to the skin versus somebody with drier skin or more sensitive skin, I guess. But I mean, if you have dry skin, you can technically use a physical exfoliator if you are experiencing more of like dry patches. just because that's going to help get the dry patches off and create like a smoother base. So if you do have dry patches, I mean, I would recommend using either like a gentler exfoliator or some sort of physical exfoliation just to get that first layer of dead skin off, and then you'll have smoother skin for your foundation application. So as far as chemical exfoliation, that is going to be more of your alpha hydroxy acids, so your AHAs, and your beta hydroxy acids, so that's going to be your BHAs. So now the difference between the two is that your alpha hydroxy acids, the most popular ones are going to be glycolic acid and lactic acid, and then for your BHAs or your beta hydroxy acids, that's going to be referring more towards like salicylic acid. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard of those ingredients before, and if not, that's okay. I'll kind of like go over, you know, what they are and like what they're good for. So as far as what chemical exfoliation is good for, that's going to be good for exfoliating deep in the pores, and it's going to exfoliate dead skin cells while normalizing cell turnover and stimulating the growth of a normal, healthy skin. So now versus physical exfoliation, there aren't going to be little beads or anything like that in a chemical exfoliator. That's just going to almost feel like either like a lotion texture, or it can be more like an oil, and that's just strictly going to get down deep in the pores and exfoliate inside of the pores, getting all of that gunk, clogged pores, any of that stuff out from inside of the skin. Now, as far as the pros and cons of chemical exfoliation, there isn't really too many cons. It's a lot of pros. One of the pros is that it doesn't involve any rubbing on the skin, so it's more like generally more of like a safer form of exfoliation. Hydroxy acid, so your alpha hydroxys or your beta hydroxys, have the ability to penetrate the skin for deeper exfoliation, so you're going to get really deep, clean pores. There's also enzymatic exfoliators, so that's going to be like your pumpkin enzymes, your papaya, your pineapple enzymes. So it's not going to be as strong as what your hydroxy acids are going to be, but if you have sensitive skin, I would go more towards your enzymatic exfoliators, because since your hydroxy acids are so strong and so like concentrated is I guess a good term that you could say, that's more than likely going to be a little bit more like intense, and it may be a little bit too much for sensitive skin. So going in with your enzymatic exfoliator, that's going to be a little bit more gentler on sensitive skin. Salicylic acid is especially effective for oily, acne prone skin. So like I said, your salicylic is going to be your beta hydroxy. You know, it's not going to irritate your skin like a physical exfoliator would, because if you have acne and you're using a physical exfoliator, which I don't recommend, that's just going to irritate the acne more, because you're rubbing it with something that's going to be grainy, so it can cause more irritation and more redness, versus something that's going to be more of a chemical exfoliator that's going to get into the pores and draw all of that out and help clean out the pores. And then also combination skin benefits from alpha hydroxy acids that help control oil production. Now for me, I have used both physical and chemical. I find myself using more of a chemical exfoliator personally. So the chemical exfoliator that I like to use on my skin personally is this one right here. So this one is going to be the Sunday Riley Good Genes All-in-One Lactic Acid Treatment. So this one is going to be good for all skin types, not necessarily sensitive skin. It just really depends on how sensitive you are, because it may be a little too much for you. But like I said, you can try the more of like enzymatic chemical exfoliators. But this one is super nice. It says that it's a clarifying, line smoothing lactic acid treatment. It has high potency, purified grade lactic acid. So that's going to help exfoliate dull, pore clogging dead skin cells to instantly clarify and reveal smoother, clearer, younger looking skin while fighting visible signs of hyperpigmentation. It has licorice, so that's going to help naturally brighten the appearance of hyperpigmentation. It has lemongrass, so it'll help boost radiance. And then it's formulated with high potency, purified grade lactic acid that immediately exfoliates dull, pore clogging dead skin cells, revealing smoother, fresher, younger skin. Fine lines appear visually plumper while the skin looks more radiant. And then with continued use, the appearance of stubborn hyperpigmentation and visible signs of aging are reduced. So that's all of the claims that this has. And with this, you can use it in the morning or night. I just personally choose it to use it at nighttime, but I am obsessed with this product. It's so good. I had some like clogged pores. I feel like it was more like whiteheads. They weren't like pimples or anything like that. But with this, it really helped clear that up. It did take a little bit of time, but I did see quick results with this. I saw pretty good results within the first couple times of using it. So if you have clogged pores, this stuff is so good. Like, this is my holy grail product. It is going to be very expensive, but I feel like it's worth every single penny. I would definitely purchase this again in a heartbeat. I love this stuff. It is so good. I cannot recommend it enough. So if you have, problems with acne, or you have problems with like clogged pores, try this out. Even if you go to your local Sephora and you get a sample, just try it out. It's so good. I really recommend it. I also feel like with this, my skin does look brighter as well, and it just feels smoother. Like, I definitely, even like after the first use, I felt like when I woke up the next morning, my skin just felt a lot smoother, even though it doesn't necessarily, exfoliate the top layer of the skin. I just feel like this really helped smooth my skin. It helped make it look brighter. So this, I am obsessed with. It's so good. If you can buy it, buy it. It's, I can't talk about it. It's enough. It's like so good. Oh, and then I also forgot to mention that if you use a chemical exfoliator, you also want to make sure that you're using an SPF, just because using a chemical exfoliator, it's more than likely going to make your skin a little bit more sensitive to the sun. So just make sure that you're incorporating an SPF. I'm really bad about it. I should incorporate SPF more often. So just being honest, but just, some further information about that. So the next treatment that I'm going to talk about are masks. So there's not really much to say about it. I'm sure you've used a mask before. So just, basically choose one that, for an area that you're trying to target. They do come in different forms. So they come in the forms of, there's like clays, there's creamy, there's gel, there's foamy, there's sleeping masks, there's sheet masks. So just choose one of what you're trying to do. There's, ones that help mattify, there's hydrating, there's clarifying, there's ones with charcoal in it to help clear out your pores and detox. So, just choose something that you're looking to, improve on. Now for me, I personally don't use masks as much as I should, but when I do use a mask, I personally like to use a sheet mask. So if you've never used one before, it's going to come in a packet like this. This one is specifically just a Lancome one that I have. So it comes in a pack like this. There's only one in here, and it's one-time use. It comes like this. So you have like a hole for your eyes and your mouth, and then you have like a little hole for like your nose area. But you just put the sheet on top of your face, and then you let it sit there. You're gonna press it into the contours of your face, I guess, and then you're gonna let it sit there for, typically it's about 20 to 30 minutes for a sheet mask. And then after the time's up, you just take it off, discard it in the trash, and then you're going to rub in the extra serum that's left over on your skin. Most of the time, I feel like sheet masks are going to be used for hydrating, so I can list a couple of my favorites down below. I do really like this Lancome one, but there's another one that I like from the brand Too Cool for School, and that one, it's very hydrating, so I can list those down below. But I personally like to use sheet masks because they're easy. You don't have to rinse them. You just put it on, let it sit, take it off, throw it away, rub in the extra stuff. So I personally love them. So the next treatment that I'm going to talk about are your serums. So what serums are going to do is that they're just going to penetrate deeper into the skin to deliver active ingredients. So it's a nice step to have. It's not always necessary. It just really depends on your skin type and your skincare routine. A lot of the times your serums are going to give you, extra moisture levels into the skin. Now I do have a serum that I have used before. I don't find myself gravitating towards it as much, just because I don't feel like I necessarily need it right now, I guess. I still like it, and I still recommend it to people. And the one that I like is this one from Drunk Elephant, and it is the Bee Hydra Intensive Hydration Gel Serum. Now, like I said, a lot of the time your serums are going to provide extra hydration to the skin. So this one is specifically a hydration serum. So it's great for if you're drier, you can use it, in combination with your moisturizer, either during the day or at night or both. It just really depends on your skin. If you're oily, you can still use a hydration serum. Especially during the winter time, a lot of people need that extra hydration. So you would, wash your face, then you would go in with your treatment, which would be this guy right here, and then you would apply your moisturizer on top of that. And it's just going to help get into the skin deeper, and then it's going to help your regular moisturizer as well just sink into the skin deeper. So you're going to get that extra deeper level of hydration. Now, of course, you'd still want to use your moisturizer with this because it's only going to moisturize your skin to an extent. So use your moisturizer with it. But I mean, I do like serums. Like I said, it's not necessary. It just really depends on your skincare needs. And sometimes, you know, during the winter time, if you live in a colder climate, you can use this because it's going to be drier outside. And then once summer comes along and you know, there's going to be moisture in the air, you can retire this for the summer, put it away, you know, if you feel like your skin doesn't need it. And then once winter comes back along, get the product back out and then be able to use it when you need it, when you feel like your skin needs the extra hydration when it's drier outside. So then after my treatment step, the next one that I go in with is an eye cream. Now I'm not gonna talk too much about it just because I talked about eye creams in my morning routine, but the one that I have been using is this one right here. And this one is the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Eye Concentrate Matrix. Now this is going to be good for all skin types, not necessarily sensitive skin. And what this is that it's an ultra nourishing skin strengthening formula with an innovative 360-degree matrix technology to give eyes a fresh, wide open look. Now if you ever you know, see on like a package or hear anybody talk about 360 degrees for like an eye cream, that just means that you can use it all over, meaning that you can use it on your eyelid as well, because most of the time an eye cream is just going to be used on the orbital bone underneath here and not for the eyelid, just because it's not made for that. But if it says anything about 360 degree, that means you can use it on the eyelid as well. This also helps give a little bit of a plumping support too. Now, I mean, I'm almost up with mine. I don't plan on like purchasing it or anything like that. I just have been using it because like I got it through, you know, working at Sephora. So, I mean, I like it, but you know, I think it's all right. I feel like it moisturizes okay. It feels nice underneath of the eye, but you know, I don't plan on, you know, purchasing it again to use it. I'll just use whatever I have, you know, for my next eye cream already at home. So then the next step that I go in with is going to be to moisturize. Again, I'm not going to give too much information on it because I talked about it already, but I go in with the Fresh, let's see, there we go, the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Moisturizer. And this is going to be good for all skin types, not, you know, necessarily sensitive skin. But this is going to be an ultra hydrating gel cream powered by hyaluronic acid and time-release technology for petal soft skin. Now, if you haven't heard of hyaluronic acid before, or if you have heard of it before and you just don't really know much about it, hyaluronic acid is going to be a very hydrating ingredient that's going to go deep into the skin to give you, you know, very good hydration. So anything with hyaluronic acid in it, that's a really nice ingredient. This also has rose water in it to help soothe, while the rose flower oil helps to nourish, so it's also nourishing. So I mean, I really like this moisturizer. Now this one, it is a little bit heavier, and that is why I use it at nighttime, because when you sleep at nighttime, your skin is going to become the most dehydrated. So for me personally, and even like oilier skin types can do this as well, you can use more of like a lightweight moisturizer during the daytime, but then at nighttime when your skin needs the extra hydration, you can go in with something a little bit richer, so then you're making sure that you're giving your skin that extra hydration that it needs overnight. But also, when it comes to like moisturizing, even during the day, you want to make sure that you're moisturizing your neck as well and your chest area, but especially your neck, just because your neck is also going to age like the face, and you'll have like lines and wrinkles and everything like that. So make sure you're getting your neck area too. And another tip for when you moisturize, you want to make sure that you're going in a gentle upward motion. You don't want to like pull down or anything like that, or give any extra tugging, because extra tugging and pulling is just going to make you have more like premature like wrinkles and fine lines as you like age. So just make sure that you're going in an upward motion. So the very last step in my routine at nighttime is making sure that I hydrate my lips. Now, I cannot personally go to sleep without hydrating my lips with something. I used to use Vaseline when I was in high school and up until a year ago when I discovered this product, and I am so obsessed with it. I am on my second container of it, but it is this guy right here, and this is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Oh my God. Like, if you haven't tried this yet, or if you don't own this, like, you need this. It's so good. I am halfway through, actually probably more than halfway through my second jar of it. I love this stuff. It's so good. I cannot talk like about this enough. I like recommend it to everybody. It is so good. But what this is a leave-on lip mask that soothes and moisturizes for smoother, more supple lips overnight. Now, what this has in it is their moisture wrap technology, which is going to be trademarked from Laneige. And this is an exclusive technology that features a mineral network of moisture-rich beta-glucan to form an 8-hour time-release moisturizing layer on the skin. It also has our trademarked berry mix complex, which is rich in vitamin C and antioxidants from a nutritious blend of raspberries, strawberries, cranberries, goji berries, and blueberries. Berry mix complex soothes and softens, revealing smooth, supple lips. Now, I love this. Like I said, I'm obsessed. It just feels so nice on the lips, so hydrating. You can use it during the daytime if you want, which I have done before. When I wake up in the morning, I still feel this on my lips, which is awesome. Now, the reason why I like this versus using Vaseline, I don't know if you've ever tried Vaseline before or if anybody out there uses Vaseline at nighttime, but this is a little bit thicker than Vaseline, but it's not like goopy and sticky. It's just so hydrating and so moisturizing. I'm just so obsessed. Plus, it smells so good, like with all those berries in it. Like, I'm like so obsessed. I'm like going crazy over this. I know I'm probably like, you're probably thinking, God, you psycho, calm down. But like, I recommend this to everybody in my life. It's so good. So if you haven't tried this out, I would definitely recommend it. And it's not expensive. It's $20 for a jar. So it's, you know, pretty affordable, and you don't need a lot because I feel like a little bit goes a long way, but I will definitely list this down below. So then you have it, go get it. Just go get it. Just listen to me. You'll love me. You'll thank me later. They also have a vanilla scented one, which I haven't tried yet or smelled. I've only used this one. So just go do it. Not much to say about it. Just go try it. Okay, so then recapping on my skincare routine, and a basic skincare routine is that both night and day, you're going to want to wash your face. At night, you're going to want to make sure that you're taking off your makeup and never sleeping in it. You're going to want to make sure that you're going in with an eye cream during the day and the night. Find one that is going to target the areas that you're concerned with. You're going to want to incorporate a treatment during the day or nighttime that is just going to give you your results a little bit quicker than not using one. You're also going to want to make sure that you are using a moisturizer both day and night. So, pretty basic. I keep my skincare routine pretty basic. I like basic. You know, you don't have to go anything like super like hard or like anything that's like super like extensive. Like, you don't need some big long skincare routine to get good results, as long as you're using good ingredients. And if you can't afford any of these products, that is no problem. There are other brands out there as well. Even like Sephora sells brands that are more like mid-price point, and I can list some of those down below. Like, for instance, like First Aid Beauty, they have like really nice products with good ingredients, but they're a middle price point. And even if you can't afford anything like that and you can only afford drugstore, there is nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're finding good ingredients from the drugstore and making sure that you're getting, you know, good products. Now, the only reason why I recommend higher end skincare is because you're going to get better ingredients versus something from the drugstore. But I am not knocking drugstore products in any way, shape, or form. I used to use drugstore products for myself, and from working at Sephora, that's when I started getting into more of the higher end skincare brands. And, you know, I really appreciate it because I got to be able to, you know, appreciate good higher end skincare. I really did see a difference in my skin versus using something from the drugstore. Just because higher end skincare, you're going to get those better ingredients versus something from the drugstore. But if that's all you can afford, like I said, that's fine. Just make sure that you get good ingredients in your drugstore skincare, and you'll be set. So bear with me, I'm almost done. I just wanted to throw this in here really quick. And it's going to be more so for those of you who have more acne prone skin and who have problems with acne. Now, keep in mind, if you have to go to the dermatologist, I do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Go listen to a dermatologist, use creams or something that they give you. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about like some ingredients that are also going to be good. And I'm also trying to push through really fast because my camera is at 7% and it takes a while to charge. So we're pushing through. Now, when you're looking for skincare products for acne and that are going to be good for acne, you're going to want to look at your treatments. So, for instance, your alpha hydroxy acids that we talked about already, your AHAs, and your beta hydroxy acids, which are the BHAs. So for your alpha hydroxy acids, those are going to help exfoliate dead skin cells. So, for instance, my Good Genes, the lactic acid that I use. And then for your beta hydroxy acid, That's going to exfoliate dead skin cells and help reduce oil inside of the pores. So I'll list a product down below that's going to be good for that. Also sulfur, that's another really good ingredient that's going to be strong for acne. There's retinoids, that's going to help improve cell turnover, meaning you'll get better, fresh skin. And then there's benzoyl peroxide, which is going to help kill the P. acnes bacteria. Now there are also different things that can go along with acne, such as whiteheads and blackheads. So whiteheads are going to be more of like little textured bumps on the skin that are going to be like skin colored. And then you have your typical blackheads, which are going to be like those dark little clogged pores on the skin. And then the best way to treat those are with exfoliating, either with chemical exfoliators like your alpha hydroxys and your beta hydroxys. And then also you can use physical exfoliators as well. And as far as, like I mentioned with acne, don't use a physical exfoliator. It's going to end up, you know, bothering the acne, making it worse. It's going to irritate it. So your best bet is going in with your chemical exfoliators. And, you know, just like an extra tip as well, just make sure you're watching, you know, what you're eating and also what you're drinking. You want to make sure that you're putting good ingredients on your skin from the outside. You also want to make sure that you're putting good ingredients into your body as well, as far as like what you're eating. So if you're, you know, drinking a lot of sugar or eating a lot of sugar or, you know, having a lot of junk food, your skin is more than likely not going to be at its best. So just make sure you're having healthy ingredients to make sure that you're getting like nice, healthy skin. Also, make sure that you're drinking a ton of water. That's going to help with your hydration level, and stay away from sugary beverages and excess coffee. Those are going to be big dehydrators for the skin. But yeah, so my camera's about to die. I am out of here. I will list products down below, and I will see you in my next one.